It is said if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium protection additive did just that. In a head-to-head test against one of the country's leading brands of conventional motor oil, put into battle in the engines of some of the toughest test vehicles on the planet. New York City taxis. The proof: torn down engines and data from a battery of independent tests. Cameras were there for every step, bolt, part, and measurement. The result: dramatic proof of superior wear protection for Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium, the oil that's taxi tested tough. Let's take a closer look. First, the taxis. New 2011 Crown Victorias with curb weight topping 2 tons. The engine? A Ford 4.6-liter V8. 8 new cabs were pulled from a New York fleet. 4 ran on Kendall, 4 on a leading conventional brand. Drain intervals were set at 10,000 miles, longer than the normal drain interval, and almost 3 times more than Ford's recommendation for severe service. The oils. In one corner, a leading brand of conventional 5W20 GF5 oil. In the other, Kendall GT1 synthetic blend with its exclusive liquid titanium protection additive. Also 5W20, also GF5. The factory fill oil was drained and the new oils were poured in. Samples were taken every 5,000 miles. Oils and filters were changed every 10,000 miles until each test car reached 100,000. Then engines were pulled and sent to a lab to be torn down. Now the fun stuff, the teardown. First up, a leading brand of conventional oil.
Today we're going to disassemble 2 Ford 4.6-liter V8 engines. All right, let's tear this baby down.
There are a number of engine parts that provide a strong visual comparison. The front cover, valve cover, and pistons. These and other parts were set aside for rating and measurement. Following the same steps, the Kendall engine was torn down.
We're going to disassemble this engine. It ran 100,000 miles in a New York City cab. It ran on 5W20 Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium.
Again, the key visual markers. Front cover.
That's what a good oil looks like.
Valve cover.
Wow, look how clean that looks.
Pistons. As each part was removed from the Kendall engine, something interesting happened in the lab. Technicians, who tear down hundreds of engines a year and thousands over their careers, stopped. They stared at something they'd rarely seen. Parts that looked almost brand new emerging from a 100,000-mile engine.
There's another 100,000 left in this one, isn't there?
But seeing alone is not rating, measuring, and weighing. That's when the teardown gets down to the proof. The proof started with visual rating. To be clear, the leading brand oil rated high. It's just that Kendall's overall formulation and liquid titanium protection additive kept parts significantly cleaner. A fact that proved itself after tearing down more engines, equally divided between Kendall and the leading brand oil.
There's basically nothing here. It's almost as if it's a new part, the clean part that's just been cleaned. The only way I would know it's not is because of that. That is the road grime.
Next, we dug into the numbers, starting with used oil analysis. There are several ways to measure wear. Used oil analysis looks for iron in the oil. Iron is a sign of wear on critical parts that can lead to engine damage and impair engine efficiency. Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium was 30% better than the leading brand in controlling the wear iron. 30% is great, but the bigger question, where did that wear come from? The answer? In the roller follower pins. After exacting measurements of roller follower pin wear, Kendall outperformed the leading brand oil in wear protection by an amazing 63%. 63%. As one amazed researcher said, "I've never seen results like this." The challenge: Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium, going head-to-head with one of the leading brands of conventional motor oil. The test? Some of the toughest driving conditions imaginable. 8 cabs, 100,000 miles each. Drain intervals were pushed. Engines were torn down. Parts were rated and measured. Data was compiled. The result? Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium outperformed a leading conventional brand oil in wear protection by an incredible 63%. That's 63%. What does this mean? By minimizing wear, Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium helps prevent engine damage. helping cars maintain performance. Kendall helps maintain engine efficiency, saving gasoline. Kendall helps you get the most out of your car. Whether you're commuting in stop-and-go traffic, driving in extreme hot or cold, hauling a heavy load, or just running errands. The proof didn't come out of some lab. It came out of the mean streets of New York City, from the oil that's taxi-tested tough. Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium protection additive in synthetic blend, high mileage, and full synthetic formulations. Part of a full line of oils engineered with a single thought in mind. Long live the engine. Get Kendall. In fact, get it faster than a New York minute.